Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's Main Event. Drop kick.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark back here with you yet again on another Friday. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. I appreciate it very much. If you have never tuned in before, what's up? I'm Tom. This is my show. This is the Main Event, and we've been going strong here since 2014. Proud member of the Boink Studios family of podcasts, a network of podcasts, if you will. Check us out on boinkstudios.com. And, of course, follow us for free on Boink Studios YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. We have content dating all the way back to the year this show started, again, 2014. So 12 years and counting of podcast content, kids. You like pro wrestling? You're in the right spot. You like movies, streamers, books, sports, album reviews, music, you name it, we got it, baby. Again, Boink Studios on YouTube and boinkstudios.com. Happy Friday, kids. We hope you guys are doing great. We hope you had a great week. I've had a pretty good week so far. I can't complain too awful much. And if I could, nobody would care anyway, but it's okay. I appreciate you guys joining us here today. We got we got a big show to get here to today, kids. Don't ever multitask while you're trying to do a show. It's a terrible idea. I'm being very disrespectful to my fans right now. But, we got a lot to get to here today, kids. We're going to talk about the G1, and we're also going to talk about the build to AEW All In. And, so lots to talk about. So, again, kids, welcome back. Tom Clark's Main Event, the podcast, again, from 2014, that is too old to lie to itself and call it honor. That's who we are. If you know what that reference is from, good on you. It's like my favorite book of all time. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Let's say some hellos, see who was first at the table. JP, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Jamel in Vegas, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Eric Jackson, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Boy, I like JP. Thank you for that ringing endorsement. JP says, do you like pop culture? You're in the right spot. All things that pop, that's what we do here, kids. Let's get the ticker is ticking down below. That's good news. Let's get that overhead. Like, follow, share. If you'd like to contribute a little something to the show, buymeacoffee.com/Tom Clark. Go check us out. $2, $5, $100, you name it. Just buy me a cup of coffee, man. I appreciate you very much. Let's go ahead and start the show here today, kids. Let's talk about the G1 Climax. I don't know if you guys are following the show, but buddy, or following the tournament, it has been a stellar tournament thus far. There have been some fantastic matches here, dude. Lots of good stuff to get into here today. The semifinals are set, and we're going to be, let's see, tonight, actually, New Japan, the semifinal show takes place. It's also going to be Hiroshi Tenzan's retirement show, so that should be good too. And we hope that you're going to tune into that. I usually don't catch this stuff live because sleep. I do still need sleep occasionally. So yeah, man. So I'm going to catch it in the morning, I'm sure, when I get up. So yeah, let's talk about this real quick here. Well, not real quick. Let's go ahead and cover it here, kids. So Block A this year, Block A, we had Yoda Ryohei Aoiya, Konosuke Takeshita, Bolton Oleg, Sanada, Hiroki Goto, Yuto Ice, Shingo Takagi, Jake Lee, and Great Khan. Block B, of course, we had Callum Newman, Yuya Uemura, Gabe Kidd, Ren Narita, Julian Maloney, Zack Sabre Jr., Henare, Oscar, Aaron Wolf, and Shota Umino, actually, who had to withdraw from the tournament. And for the semifinals, here today, kids, who we have, we've got Yuya Uemura versus Yota Tsuji, and we also have Ryohei Aoiya, and I always get his name wrong, versus Callum Newman. Ryohei Aoiya. There we go. Let's call him Aoiya, shall we? Aoiya, let's break this down. First of all, we'll start with this match. Aoiya has looked great. He's looked very great. He's got that. He's been working a side headlock. He made Goto tap out to the side headlock, man. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched the tournament. Insane. Like, it's like in the States when they get over the suplex over and over and over again, right? Get over the arm drag and the the Snapmare Takeover, like simple, basic moves. I mean, once upon a time, Snapmare Takeover could win a pro wrestling match, right? We're going back to the black and white days, as we call them. But man, he's been working that side headlock, man. Aweo looks good. He looks really good at this point. And he's really come into his own. I love his music. I love his entrance. And we're going to see how this plays out. But him against Callum Newman is going to be something to watch, man. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I've heard predictions on this about who's going to go over. This is going to be tough for me because Callum Newman, the leader of Undisputed Era, United Empire. How about that? Leader of United Empire. He's one of the top heels in that company. He's possibly the top heel in that company right now. I don't really count the House of Torture guys, all due respect. But Callum looks great. Callum has come such a long way since the days of him being a skinny little kid and basically just doing like a Will Ospreay Jr. kind of gimmick, yeah. And he's had some great matches. Him and Hanare tore it up, and Hanare tore his back up, actually. But they had a good match. But it's kind of hard to pick against Callum here because in the other matches we know, as we said, we've got Uemura versus Tsuji. What you could say is Yota Tsuji for the win. Okay? And here's why you could say this. Yota Tsuji has really never looked better. This is the second run as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Okay? So, which is great. And Yota is the man right now. Yota is the guy in New Japan. He is the top guy. He is the standard bearer. He waves the flag for New Japan as he should. I think we all kind of predicted at some point not too long ago, Yota was probably going to be the next guy. We were right, and mazel tov to him. It's the right positioning. It's the right booking choice, I believe, because I think Yota is probably the best guy they got right now. Zack Sabre Jr. is fantastic. He's been to the mountaintop, but this is definitely Yoda's time. Yoda's going to carry this company to the next 5 to 7 years at least. Yota is great, okay? But there's predictions out there that possibly Uemura beats Yota and Awea beats Callum, and we get a Uemura and Awea final. Buddy, I'd be here for that 6 ways from Sunday. I'd be here for that. Are you freaking kidding me? You talk about a match, dude, that thing would blow the doors off. And, we're getting younger. That's the key. We've been talking for a couple of years now about how NJPW is in the rebuilding phase. We've been saying it for a while, and we probably have said to the point where you're maybe getting tired of hearing it. But New Japan is definitely in a rebuilding phase. However, because of their system, a lot of what they're doing is they're rebuilding sort of right in front of you with the young lions, the young boys stuff. So they're kind of rebuilding right in front of you as they go, which is great because it's just how they do it. So in real time, we're getting to see guys step up. I love Uemura. It's hard to pick against Tsuji. So that's why it's hard for me to pick a winner in either one. Part of me says that Tsuji's going to beat Uemura and then Awea is going to beat Tsuji. I mean, I'm just saying the IWGP champion has not won the G1 since the 90s. I think in the 90s, I forget who it was. But it's not happened for a minute. So we'll see how this all plays out. But I'm going to tell you, man, I am definitely looking forward to this show. The show overall is going to be good. We're going to have, let's see, Aaron Wolf is going to team up with, let's see, let me get it right. There we go. Bolton Oleg and Tatsuya Masamoto against Team Decay. That is Zack Sabre Jr., Hartley Jackson, and the great Kosei Fujita. I'm a big Fujita fan, if I have made that abundantly clear here. As we said, it's also the retirement match for Hiroshi Tenzan, who's going to go out facing Satoshi Kojima. Perfect match for these two guys. Tenzan, what a career. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, former G1 Climax winner, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This guy's done it all, man. Congratulations on a huge career. We've also going to have Togi Makabe, Toru Yano, Yuji Nagata, Yo, and Master Wato versus the Unbound Company of Shingo, Ice, Oscar, Taiji Ishimori, and Gato. Boy, Ice and Oscar had a great G1. I can't put those two guys over enough. It's going to be good to see that little match here. I'm sure it'll be fun. We also have the Unbound Company of Drill Maloney and Daiki Nagai versus the Death Riders, Gabe Kidd and Wheeler, Utah, going to be in Japan. That'll be interesting to see, right? See how him and Kidd work together there. That'll be fun. Should be. And then, of course, we got Konosuke Takeshita, who is on this card, of course, with Tai Chi, El Desperado, and Ryosuke Taguchi versus the House of Torture, Oive, Ren Narita, Sonata, Daki, and Sho. And we also have another multi-man match, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Masatori Yasuda, and Taisi Nakahara versus United Empire of Hinare, Great Khan, Francesco Akira, and Jacob Austin Young. Going to be a stacked card. Going to be a fun card. And, of course, highlighted by the 2 G1 Climax semifinal matches. All right, you know what? Put me on the spot. I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. I'm going to say Oiya. And, Uemura and Tsuji's tough, man. I'm going to say Oiya and Tsuji. And that's tough because my pick from day one was Uemura. Should I change my pick at the 0 hour? What do you guys think? Should I even do that stuff? Should I stick to it? Jamel says, I love the G1. I'll be on Wrestling Overload. Man. So I'm at my desk 8 days a week, it feels like, but 5 days a week for sure, doing the shoot job. And a lot of times as I'm working, I'll have one of the monitors with the G1 on, which is how I've been able to keep up with everything as the days go on. So I stayed up with this tournament. I'm quite proud of myself because I didn't miss any of the shows. And there have been some years where, man, I get so far behind it is unbelievable. I want to say it was 3 or 4 years ago. I got so far behind, I just skipped entire shows because I just couldn't get caught up, which is dumb. But the thing is, I'm online so much that I didn't want the results ruined, which is what was going to happen. Right. So JP mentions Ray Sports and Slams for sure. Kids live every Monday at 6 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Please check it out. So, yeah, that is your G1 card. That is your semifinal card. That's Tenzon's retirement show. This will be a night 18 of the G1 Climax, number 36. Looking forward to it. Think it's going to be a great show. And I'm telling you, man, again, if you haven't seen the tournament, go out of your way. There have been some great matches in this show, man, in this tournament. Yuto Ice has really showed off. The younger guys have really showed up and showed off. And Shingo always looks good. Takeshita always looks good. You know what I mean? Solid performance. Hiccups, a couple of hiccups here and there, stuff I didn't really care for personally. We won't have to get into it. But again, really great tournament this year. Go out of your way to go catch the tournament for sure. So hopefully you guys will be in ready for that. I want to get into the AEW All In build as I scratch my ear. So right now, as it stands, let's go ahead and run down the All In card. We've got 8 matches. All In, of course, is coming your way on the 30th. We've got 16 days until AEW All In takes place, right? So the clock's ticking. We are in the home stretch here. Here's the card as it stands right now. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné, AEW Women's World Championship. We've also got Kyle Fletcher versus Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada. 3-way match for the AEW International Championship. Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. Falls Count Anywhere for the AEW TNT Championship. Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Birds, AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. We've got a Continental Challenge Cup final for the AEW Continental Championship to be decided. Andrade El Idolo versus MJF versus other participants for the men's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. We've got Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. And the main event, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. So, 8 matches, 8 more to come. No, I don't know. I don't want this to become Thomas ranting. I mean, it is my show. My name's on it. But I don't want it to be that, right? Here's what I'll tell you. I have not been thrilled with AEW as of late. I don't hate the company. I'm a fan of AEW. I've been a fan since the very beginning. I've been watching since day one. Um, I enjoy AEW. I watch AEW every week without fail. Okay. I don't always watch it live. I'm usually recording on Wednesday nights, but I always watch the replay and I watch Coliseum and I watch ROH, which is a tall order, my friends, but I do watch it. I watch the promos. I catch the online stuff. I'm a fan of this company. I think I made that pretty clear. I've not been a fan of this build so far. The stuff with Kenny and MJF didn't land. In my opinion, it didn't land. The whole thing was rushed with redemption, as we know. There are reasons why MJF says and does the things that MJF says and does. There are reasons why you don't see certain talents on TV, and suddenly they show up for no good reason out of the blue. Some of these we can talk about, and others I can't tell you about because I've been asked not to. And that's not Tom trying to sound smart. That's just me being honest. If anybody doesn't believe that, I guess you're welcome to not believe that. But I don't really have any reason to lie to you or to work you. I don't work my audience, guys. So no, there's things I can't really get into detail about. Okay, because again, hush, mum's the word, hush, hush, right? But here's what I can tell you in terms of the build. All right, Hangman Adam Page is back in the trios division for seemingly no good reason. There is a reason, can't talk about it. But he's back in the trios division. He's got the championship belts with Bandito and with Brody King. Here's the thing. This guy was the top guy, the world heavyweight champion. This guy was in your top 5, upper echelon, and now he's top 10. Now he's a trios guy. Look, that's what you want to do it. It's your company. I don't care. Do what you want to do. Have fun. I think it looks a certain kind of way. I'm not happy with it. I think Heyman's great. I think Heyman connects to people, which is important. Heyman has his critics. If you don't know, now you know. Heyman has his critics, man. And some of those critics are like, he's not a primetime guy. He doesn't have star potential. He's not a poster boy for the company. Do I believe that Heyman's character and his gimmick are, perhaps a bit outdated? I'll take that. Is it a very 1980s pro wrestling gimmick? I'll take that too, sure. But is Heyman Adam Page one of the most passionate guys on the roster? Absolutely. And he's real, he's personable, and in this business, real sells, right? In a business where everything is choreographed and predetermined, the more real you are, the more you tend to get over. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, right? Heyman, to me, is one of those guys. So what are we doing here? Only they can answer that. Well, they, meaning one guy, can answer that. We'll circle back to that in a second. On top of that, you bring back Swerve for no good reason to interrupt Hangman. Evidently, they're heel again. It's funny because he comes out, Nana comes out, badmouths the crowd, badmouths people, and then asks the crowd to chant along. Whose house? Okay. As we know, they don't believe in heels and faces. They don't believe in it. It's fine. It's not fine, but what can I do? You're right, JP. It does work for him. It does work for him. Yeah. They don't believe in heel and face. So here we go again with Swerve and Hangman standing across from each other in the ring. Just when you thought we were going to move on to some other things, then we'll circle back to these two guys. Looks like we're never going to move away from these two guys. It is what it is. I just want this to be figured out. Okay. And here's why I tell you this. Because there's one guy in charge, and one guy's made it abundantly clear he doesn't want any help. He's booking everything himself, and he is the end all be all, and that's Tony Khan. Look, it's his company. He's not hurting my feelings or causing me losing any sleep. He can do whatever he wants. It's his company. But we have said multiple times on the show, if we've said it once, the biggest asset they have is Tony Khan, and the biggest liability they have, I believe, is also Tony Khan. I believe he gets in his own way. I believe he screws the booking, not intentionally. I believe that they make rash decisions this Continental Cup Classic cavalcade of champions, whatever the frick they're calling it. They're only doing this so they can say that they won the cup in Wembley. It feels like it came out of nowhere, doesn't it? Like, you knew this show was going to happen for a calendar year. Why didn't you promote this in January? What are we doing here? Right? It's stuff like that that just grates on me. I just don't understand what the point of this is. This card's shaping up to be the same way. Let's go down the line. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes. If Willow loses, and we assume she probably will, what does that mean? What's that tell you? Mercedes is going to win it back the following week or the following pay-per-view, or win it, period, not back, but win it, period, possibly. But that means that Willow's title reign didn't last any time. Same thing for Kenny Omega. If Kenny loses the championship, and we assume he's going to, by the way, isn't it great how all of a sudden Kenny's heel when they don't believe in heel and face over there? Hey, man, it's whatever. It's whatever, man. What are you going to do, right? E, good to see you, man. Hey, hope everything's well with your family. Yeah, good to hear it, man. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Thanks for hanging out, E. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, this is not the Continental Classic, Jamel. This is the Cup. This is Continental Cup Classic Cavalcade. You know, holy crap, champions. Cool, crazy. I don't know. I'm trying to think of C words right now. I got nothing. Yeah, this is not the Continental Classic. I just don't, for one belt. It's fine. Whatever. You got the international championship sitting there. It's an international championship, right? Continental, like national. Jesus. We're just anyway. Chris would be happy because Chris has been anti lots of belts for a long time. Hard to argue with that at this point. The thing with Kenny and Will doesn't fit, kids. It just doesn't fit. Like, they had Will come out, was it 2 weeks ago, talking about, I enjoyed being a deaf rider, bruv. Really? Did you hear the crowd react to that? Because they're like, what? I mean, look, man, again, whatever. Mox is heel, right? No, he's face. But no, he's heel. What is he? Again, it doesn't matter because they don't care. They don't look at it that way. But when the guy who puts a bag over someone's head gets booed out of the building, but 2 segments earlier, they chanted his name, I don't need the talk. I don't need. I was getting ready to say I need him to be one or the other. They can do whatever they want. But don't we think that a guy who bags someone in a ring and draws as much blood as he does, we need that guy to be that, don't we? Tom, he's complex, he's layered, he's textured. If I get one more speech from people about how characters are layered in AEW, shut up. It's the same people who say that everyone in All Elite and wrestling is All Elite. Huh? That's how matches are close all the time. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying that. It's not buying that. So Daddy Magic could pin Kenny Omega today. That's what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? No, you're not. No, you're not. That's because that's not true, and you know it's not true. They want to have competitive wrestling matches. At the end of the day, you guys are right. They have great pay-per-views. I don't complain over any of that. I'm not trying to complain right now. I'm just saying the weird directions, the weird things they choose to do in this company comes from one guy, and that's it. Comes from one guy, and that's it. Right? The Young Bucks, Cage, and Cope, I don't have a lot of issues with this. We knew this was coming for a while. I believe this is probably where we're going to see Kofi and Xavier, or Kofi and Austin. Kofi's trademarked his name, and Austin's going to be Austin Creed again, I assume. So they did a video about a few weeks back. Basically, they're on the way, and can't wait to see them. Hope it works out. Hope it does. Hope they do well. I'm anxious to see them in AEW ring. I think if they were to show up, this could be the match they show up, but I could be wrong. We're going to circle back to the MJF thing because I got thoughts. I do believe the Brawling Birds are going to go over. Other than Divine Dominion never really getting on pay-per-views ever, they're your women's tag team champions. What are we doing? See, that's weird. The women's division as a whole at any given time in that company, we don't have a clue what they're doing. I'm sorry. We don't have a clue what one guy is doing because one guy is calling the shots. Ray's late to the party, but Ray, no one knows. No one knows. JP says when you get too many people riding the fence, you'll eventually break. Thank you so much for that. That's good. Tweeners don't work, by the way. And you fight me. I don't care. Come at me. Everybody come. I don't care. Smith says a fan of the Death Rattles like seeing Ospreay getting beat up every week. That is a traditional pro wrestling take right there, my friend. I appreciate and respect that traditional pro wrestling take. I like that, actually. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I again, not trying to complain. I don't want that to become what this is. Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. I made my feelings known about Kevin versus Kenny. I think Kevin has a tremendously bright future. I think if they're not careful, they're going to push this kid too hard too soon. It's possible Darby's going to win that belt. It kind of feels like they're setting up for Darby to win the belt, but I do not believe Darby's going to win the belt. We'll see how it happens. Fletcher, Takeshita, and Okada are going to absolutely listen to that lineup. I mean, that's going to be a great match. Okay. All three guys are just going to absolutely kill it. Takeshi had a great G1. We had no doubt. We never thought anything else was going to happen because Konosuke Takeshita is a future Hall of Famer. So are all three of these guys, both these guys. Freaking great, dude. That could be the match of the night right there. Let's circle back to MJF. JP says, real quick, are you sure they won't put the New Day with Swerve, make a trios match? You know what? That is a rumor going around. It's entirely possible. And I'd keep Swerve happy. I've said that forever. I'm not letting the cat out of the bag by saying that like that. I keep Swerve happy because I believe Swerve is one of the best you have, honestly. And whatever that guy wants, I'd give to him. He's an asset to the locker room. He's great. He's charismatic. He's got deals outside of pro wrestling. He's smart. His ring psychology is second to none. He can work everybody. He can work all types of talents and make him look good and put himself over at the same time. I love Swerve. I think he's freaking great, dude. He's an asset to that company, any company he works in. Yeah. So, yeah, it's possible that we're going to see that. Talking about Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher match of the night, I totally agree with that. I want to talk about MJF. MJF's parading around his personalized Triple B, right? This is the part where people tell me and try to educate me about Tom, he can do this because he's a heel. Come on. There's no reason for him to walk around with this championship belt, dude. He got pinned. It wasn't a fast count. His shoulder wasn't up. His foot wasn't on or under the ropes. It wasn't a screw job. He freaking lost. So even in everyday logic, it makes no sense that MJF would suddenly just proclaim himself to still be the world champion. And I know that everybody believes, well, Tom, that's what heels do. Let me tell you something, man. When heels run down the main event of the biggest show of the year for your company, that is not what a heel should do, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, a heel's job is to help put over the biggest show of the year, whether he is in the first match or the last match. He has not done that. He came out and said it was a phony main event. It was a crap main event. Put down Will, put down Kenny. He's the true champion. Tom, he's babyface or he's heel. I don't care. I do not care what he is. Go back to the top heels in the history of this business, and you will see time after time after time that let's go after the show. Let's put down the talents. You're always going to have beef because you're always beefing with each other in storyline, right? Especially if you're going toward a big match. But this notion, he's heel, Tom, he can say those things. He's saying those things for a reason. Okay. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm Continental Challenge Cup. I got the word classic in there. It's a Continental Challenge Classic Cavalcade Cup. I don't know. I'm watching the replay of Dynamite right now. Can't tell. There's a lot of stuff going on in that company right now. I'm trying to be careful. I like Max. I think Max is he's definitely a top guy. He's definitely a top heel. You know, I just got a problem with some of the way he has put this thing over. Or not put it over, I should say. And again, I tell you, when you spend your because we heard him do it to Briscoe too. We heard him do it to Briscoe where he said Briscoe can't wrestle. Well, then why didn't you beat him in 2 minutes? If you can't wrestle and you're the best wrestler, the better wrestler, right? Why didn't you beat him in 2 minutes? What happened? That's the problem with talking like that. You know what I mean? That's why low-level heels who jerk the curtain can get away with saying stuff like that. When you're a top heel, and even they shouldn't get away with it then either. When you discount your opponents to the point that, well, they don't belong in the ring with me, then why do I care if you beat them? Right? Why am I going to buy a ticket to see you? Why? I don't want to see that match. Right? Wasting my time. JP says MJF needs to go to the back of the line and earn a title shot. It'll never happen. He's going to win All In, I think. He's going to win that match. And if he doesn't, it won't matter. He'll get a title shot. He might not be the first guy to challenge Will. He'll be the second, I'll bet you. It ain't over, man. He ain't going to get out of that top spot, dude. It says MGF says he will crush the winner because he's the best or something to that effect, but not the pay-per-view. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. He ain't crushed anybody yet, has he? That's what I'm saying. Like it's, again, I'm trying to be careful. Because there's real life and then there's the storyline that we're talking about here today. And they're crossing over to some degree. And, there's no discount in the guy's level of talent, his commitment to the brand, to the company. There's no discount in any of that. People want to see him. They do want to watch him, right? But we're also talking about a company that one dude's writing all the storylines. They are inarguably the number 2 pro wrestling company in the world. Well, in the United States for sure, they're the number 2 pro wrestling company in the United States. You could say in the world, right? But by some metrics, they're a distant number 2, depending on what metrics you're looking at. Okay. And we have said many times here before, the thing that people typically bump into with this company are not the matches, not all the time, not the pay-per-views, especially. People bump into these storylines. They don't understand why something gets booked the way it does. It doesn't make any sense to them. And that's really what we're talking about here, man. That's really what we're talking about here. It is what it is. I want this company to succeed. I want them to do well. I'm going to move on in a second. But again, is All In going to be a good show? Of course it is. Is half of it going to make no sense? It's possible. But they're going to give the fans in the UK their money's worth because this is who they are as a company. Kudos to them for that. But as far as the build, in my opinion, I don't think the build's been great for every single match. JP, I've got my fingers crossed for Adam Cole. I think he's trying. But again, you're talking to a guy that does not talk to Adam Cole, so I couldn't tell you what will happen for sure. But, buddy, if I had to shake the magic 8 ball, it kind of feels like all signs point to he's retired. And you know what? Not the end of the world if he doesn't come back. What is the end of the world is being crippled or having your quality of life affected because you did come back, perhaps not against Dr. Stores, they wouldn't allow that. But, because perhaps it was pushed too far. And look, I can't answer that for Adam Cole. I'm not him. I respect the guy immensely. I wish him all the best. I'd love to see him back on TV. I don't see him back in the ring, but I want it to be right for him and his family. And that's what matters. It has to be right for him, first and foremost, not for the fans, but for him. Because he's the guy that has to be able to walk in 5, 10 years, right? He's the guy that's going to be affected if something comes back. If he comes back, then something goes wrong, right? So if he's done, it'll suck, but give this guy a massive retirement party on live TV. Announce that he's going to be part of the company behind the scenes in some form or fashion. Do something. But yeah, I mean, I love Adam Cole. I think he's wonderful. Chippy says, when does AEW pay-per-view or AEW itself make sense? They sure think it does. They sure think it does. You cannot allow, in my opinion, you cannot allow wrestlers to book their own stuff, because wrestlers are going to do what they can and what they're allowed to do to get themselves over and to make them put themselves in prime spots and make themselves look good. AEW is no different than any other company. It didn't start with AEW. It won't end with AEW. Since the beginning, when this thing got scripted, when this thing got predetermined ahead of time, choreographed the whole nine. When it got figured out, here's how we're going to run this thing. From that day, people have been politicking to get top spots in there, or to keep their spots, and to go higher and do bigger and do more. Yeah, AEW is no different. I'm not trying to demonize AEW guys for trying to protect their spot or to try to get better or do more or be bigger. That's silly, isn't it? Because they're not the first company. They won't be the last, as I said. This is what AEW, this is what if you're not looking out for, put it this way, if you're not looking out for yourself in a pro wrestling company, who's looking out for you? Honestly, who? Right? I got a visitor here. Little cat. I mean, who's looking out for you? I worked for a guy years ago, and I was trying to go to the boss for money because I wasn't getting paid enough. Imagine that. And my boss at the time, I'm like, is it okay? And he's like, look, man, he said, you have to take care of yourself when it comes to money. I'll speak up for you, but it's your money. You have to be the one making noise. No one's going to look out for you like you will. I never forgot that. That was told to me in my 20s, and I never forgot that because he's right. So especially if you're a pro wrestler, male or female, look out for yourself, man. By the way, can we just say that as of this show, there are only 2 women's matches on this card. I'm sure that will change. But yeah, I think they're going to set the TBS championship, women's championship on Collision tomorrow night. Chippy says put Adam Cole on the broadcast team and get rid of Danielson and keep Callis off the broadcast. It's not a bad move. I like it. Again, I love Adam Cole. I think he's great. I do believe that, I mean, they're obviously going to start getting their money's worth out of Paul White finally. They got a lot of commentators, man. I think it's a good move. I think it could work. I know it could work. It's Adam Cole. Be interesting to see how it works out. Racist Meyer World is saw, but I've never heard her talk that belt. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully she keeps it. I like her to see her have a great title defense at All In. That's what I'd like to see. I like her a lot. I hope this wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction to just give her a belt to say they gave her a belt, because I don't want that. I didn't want that to begin with. And I was afraid it could possibly lead to that, which is why I was kind of surprised she won the championship. Hey, man, I was kind of surprised because I really thought she was going to beat Athena. By the way, real quick, I have talked about this till I'm blue in the face. A lot of us have as podcasters, and I know that sometimes the audience possibly gets sick of hearing the same talking points all the time. So everyone, please be patient with me as I say this to you here today. I still continue to not understand what is happening with Athena, and I'll tell you why. Another example of how they don't have a clue what they're doing with Ring of Honor. They had her cut this promo backstage about this forever champion nonsense. And Billy Starks, standing there smiling, sticking her tongue out because that's her thing. And so the match happens, and she's got Janai Kai, I think is the girl's name. All due respect to Janai Kai, she's doing her thing in the ring. I don't get this look. Like, I don't understand why we were supposed to believe she was going to be a threat, especially since Athena put her down and said last time we wrestled, I like killed you. Then why do I care about this match? That's number one. Number two, the match happens, and we get this stuff about she's a forever champion, longest reign in modern history. They congratulated her backstage, yada 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 yada. And then she gets in the match, and Billy has to help her win. And Athena has a competitive match against this girl who, in Athena's words, not a contender. She destroyed her. Why is she in the ring with her? Blah 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 blah. Right? And it took like almost 10 minutes to beat her. A girl who's not a contender. And it took cheating to beat her. What are we doing? Forever champion, huh? Longest reign in modern history. Sure. In my opinion, they may look Athena look worse than they have good. And I think they've short term, I think they've damaged her. I think they've damaged her character and her reputation. Short term. They can be fixed. Everything can be fixed, right? Hopefully. But in my opinion, they've damaged her. And I don't like it. I like Athena a lot. I think she should have been on Dynamite a year ago. Not sure what we're doing right now. I mean, because she's had that title forever, man. There just seems to be no end. But again, you're going to preach all that hoo-ha to me, but you can't beat a contender. I'm sorry, you can't beat a non-contender. You can't beat someone that's never on TV, never on the show, has no business getting a world title shot, technically speaking. You can't beat that girl in 5 minutes. And why did you sell so much? Athena, the worker, is unselfish. That's the real answer. But also, don't book a match like this, guys. Don't book it like this. Athena should have dominated that match. She should dominate every match, shouldn't she? Unless you're a Tony Storm, unless you're a Mercedes, unless you're a, Julia, unless you're a Tekla, unless you're one of the top girls there, unless you're a Statlander. Why is she not crushing everyone? I mean, who's she beating? Again, I think they've damaged her. My opinion. Yeah. Let's take a look at a few other notes that's going around. What do you guys think about this Avery Jones thing, man? I made my thoughts known about AJ Styles' kid not setting up the chairs. It's kind of become sort of a punchline at this point. It's almost like, why are we still talking about this? What is the point of still talking about this? The story seems to not be able to die. Here's what I'll tell you. This kid, Avery Jones, I would be shocked if he didn't end up in WWE. And I would be even more shocked if he didn't get the Dominic Mysterio treatment. I like Dom. It's no offense, man. But buddy, do you guys remember at some point that because Ray appeared, wasn't Ray on the first All In? Wasn't he? Ray was on a show for them. Why was I think it was the first All In? I can't remember what it was. Why am I fuzzy on this? There were rumors that Ray could possibly go to AEW. You guys remember this? And then suddenly, Dom gets pushed to the moon. Kids on TV every week. They're doing all kinds of stuff with him. He's in the ring all the time. Now he's one of their main guys. I think that it was said at some point, Ray, as part of you sticking around, we're going to do for your kid. And either Ray said it or they said it. Number one, good for him. Good for Dom. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But I think it was, I don't think it's coincidence, put it that way. I think it was all done very meticulously, put it that way. The whole thing. I believe the same thing is going to be able to be said about Avery Jones. Styles kid. I think he'll be in that company sooner rather than later. I think they'll push him to the moon because they can. They don't want to see him in an AEW ring. I promise you that. There's no one in WWE that thinks that's a good idea. Period. End of story. I'm telling you. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out with this the chairs stuff. It's weird. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think. Uh, so there was a story that came out. I want to say I think it was yesterday. CM Punk's trainer talking about possible allegations that Punk has used steroids in WWE. And Jay Ferrugia, I believe, Punk's trainer. This is what he posted on social media. Quote, CM Punk is working his butt off from day one. When he reached out to me, he has done every single thing that I've asked him to do. He's on vacation in Hawaii, checking in with me every single day, sending me pictures, sending me his meals, sending me his macros, his weight, his temperature after meals, sending me videos from the gym, taking naps, getting enough sleep, getting morning sunshine, taking the supplements I tell him to take, never missing a workout, doing more than I ask. I have to hold him back. In 30 years in this business, CM Punk is working as hard as anyone I've ever worked with. He's dedicated as anyone, end quote. And by the way, I believe that. I believe that. Punk for his faults, and he has faults because we all do. Punk is straight edge, and I do not believe that he's steroiding up. A lot of people believe that. I don't care what people believe. Doesn't matter to me. The steroid thing is something real easy for people to say. They all said it when Andrade suddenly got ripped. You know, it's also the same story when like, well, this pro wrestler's broke. You know this how? You guys checkbook? This guy's doing steroids. Prove it. People can prove it. Because you know what social media is? Social media is a massive, massive dumpster that we're just all trying to not stink, get too near the rats. That's all we're doing. Because there's so many horrible garbage takes on social media. You could say anything, don't have to source anything. I write for a living, and buddy, I got to source my work. I can't just say stuff. It's not allowed, right? I wish the world were still like that. It used to be. It's not anymore. You can say whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Hey, you just about do what you want to do and it doesn't matter. What's up, Sal? Sal says, what you think of the match between Jericho and Kevin Knight? I like the match. I think Chris is doing what Chris can do. And I like the fact that, we all kind of said that when he faced Ciampa, and that we all said, Chris doing what he can do at his age, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets in the ring, he'll do off the top rope stuff. Look, I like Chris. It's no disrespect to him. Has he lost a dozen steps? For sure he has. Does he look great for his age? Of course he does. But, it's a question of, are you still there because you still thoroughly enjoy this? And if the answer is fine, or yes, that's fine. Part of me wonders, do you have an end goal in mind? And look, as we've said about anyone that's ever left the business, you should go when the time is right for you. That's when you should retire. This talk about how when should someone retire, it's not really up to us. It's up to that person. Jericho, in my opinion, we believed this is what Jericho was going to be doing all along, was working young guys and shine them up. It's not always worked out that way. He has done it. Anyone who says he hasn't done it has not been watching AEW. But I'm talking about it as a whole. But you got a pro wrestling locker room, and Chris Jericho's in your locker room. You're not going to put that guy over. You're not going to put him over as a legend, present him as a legend. You're out of your mind. Of course you're going to, right? So I can't fault them for that. I can't fault Tony Khan or AEW for that. Can you? So it's a double-edged sword. I think Kevin is tremendous. The crowd chants to Chris, you still got it. Chris can still work. I did like hugging Paul at the end there. That was pretty cool. Because we know about the history there, man. Anyway, I want to throw that Punk story out there to you because I thought it was interesting. So yeah, Bailey, will she or won't she? So Bailey on social media has been something of an enigma, posting weird stuff. She posted a video of herself training on Instagram with the song All In playing. And the caption was, all or nothing, baby. That's kind of everybody saying she's coming to AEW. So here's the thing. The rumor right now is that this didn't go over well with WWE. Are you shocked? You shouldn't be. Because unless we're all getting worked, and it's possible, this did not go over well in WWE. So if it didn't go over well, you know what that tells me? She's still under contract. Meltzer said, quote, the only thing I heard from them when it comes to Bailey is that Bailey has a decision to make. So that's the story. Bailey has a decision to make. She has not signed a contract, end quote. So look, if she's not under contract, leave her alone, is what I say. Who cares if you don't like it? She doesn't work for you at the moment. Let her make her decision. I mean, do you want to see Bailey in AEW with Mercedes? With her or against her? I think Bailey's tremendous. I mean, they'd have two of the four horsewomen there, wouldn't they? That's pretty big, I think. JP talking about Kevin and Jericho. It was a good match. It's predictable because we all knew Kevin was going to win. By the way, did anyone think that Mox was going to lose to Jungle Boy Jack Perry? I didn't. It was a good match. But go back and watch it again or listen to the crowd. Did the crowd believe Jack was going to win? They did not. See, that is the, I won't say problem. It's not necessarily a problem. The issue you have when you have a guy who is as well respected, because he is, and Mox deserves it. When you have a guy who is as well respected and as far up the food chain as John Moxley is, there's not a lot of drama when he works people because you don't believe he's going to lose the match, especially on live TV. That means it's impossible. They could do anything they want, right? But there's just not a lot of drama there, is there? I don't think so. So that's an issue. JP says the problem with Bailey, her contract is not up until December, so I don't see why it matters. Well, that's what we're being told. We don't know if that's true or not. You could be right. Maybe they're right, whoever they are, when they say it's December. I don't know if it is or not. You know, Mercedes has done stuff, said stuff on socials as well to make you believe that Bailey's coming over. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There's life after WWE. There needs to be. WWE can't be your only plan. Nothing should be your only plan. You should always have a backup option. That's good advice for everybody, right? Always have a plan B. WWE can't be your only plan. AEW shouldn't be your only plan, right? You should always have a plan B. Have a plan B in case things go sideways. Tim says everyone didn't expect Mercedes Moné to sign with AEW a couple years ago, and look what happened now. I will say this. I expected she would, and I'll tell you why. Because she went by the name, her real name, Mercedes Moné, and she started appearing in Japan. And I thought that's probably a pretty good sign. That's probably a pretty good sign she's AEW bound. And buddy, you talk about someone that's reinvented herself. Mercedes Moné has 100% reinvented herself. I mean, she does it for the love of the game and also to get paid. Yeah, of course. Don't we all? But she does it for the love of the game because she wanted to ply her craft against other women in other companies. And, that's what WWE towns don't get to do quite a bit at all, really. Ever. You'll occasionally they'd have TNA stuff, right? But Mercedes could go anywhere she wanted to as long as her contract says she could. She could show up anywhere she wanted to. Mox is showing up in GCW. I mean, what are we talking about here? So yeah. Chippy says she might be doing it to get paid more by WWE. And you know what? If she's using this, if she's posting on socials for leverage, good for her. Get your money. Get paid. WWE's got enough money to pay all of us for the rest of our lives. Okay? Trust me. They can pay Bailey. Bailey deserves it. Right. I'll never forget the night she premiered or debuted on Monday Night Raw. What a great night that was, man. That reaction. Holy Lord. Yeah. What else is going on? I had something here in front of me, and now I have lost it. WB expected to have more house shows in December. They're starting to go back full throttle into that again. They got enough money to do it. Kind of, I won't say it's all quiet right now, but it's fairly quiet. So yeah, looking forward again, kids, as we said, to the NJPW Climax tonight / morning for us, right? Looking forward to that show. And look, I'm looking forward to All In. I wasn't trying to take a massive crap on or anything. I mean, I do want to see how it all plays out. I want the build to get better, But, again, we'll see. Fingers crossed. I had an open floor here. There it is. Tim says, who would be perfect opponent for Bailey if she signs with AEW? There's so many women there. Pick one. You know what I mean? Pick a woman and book her against, because I think she'd be great. I think Bailey and Stack could have a great match. I think Bailey with anybody in that company, because again, they got so many talented women in that company, dude. I'm a massive fan of AEW's women's division, and I support women's division in every company. Ladies need more. I said for a long time, if I ever decide to start my own wrestling promotion, number one, talk me out of it. Number two, it'd be women. I'd just be a women's company. And I would get female referees. I'd get female announcers. I like to do announcing because I enjoy it. But I wouldn't need to be an on-air or like an in-ring personality. They'd know me as the owner, but that'd be the end of it. You know what I mean? I'd like to showcase women because I think there's a market for that and make it sound cheap. I don't mean it that way. I just mean that you have a hard-hitting women's show with some girls who don't mess around. And, you can have pretty, you can have tough, you can have, just like with men, with the men's side, you can have the good-looking guys, you can have the grizzled guys, because pro wrestling should be a variety show. You can do the same thing with the women's division, right? Tag team, trios, singles, you name it, you can do it. Women were always easier to work with. Not easier. They could be easier to work with in terms of booking, because I worked with women booking matches at one point, and it was, yeah. I enjoyed it. Smart too. A lot of those women are smart, dude. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I only saw bits and pieces of that. Once I knew that Tessa Blanchard was involved, I wasn't into it anymore. There's rumors she's talking to MLW, by the way, because of course she is. It's a land of misfit jerks over there. I had another word for it. I couldn't say it. Uh-oh. Ray says DOS effects or a bone. I've never been a Bone Thugs guy, man. And 50 Cent or Fat Joe. I've never been a Fat Joe guy either. If Adam Cole invited you and your family to the grand opening of the Adam Cole car air freshener store, that's a different one. So you could pick an air freshener for your car. I don't do air fresheners in the car. New car smell, I guess. If a friend could come and get one, would you please call me? Yes. Later, want to get dinner, which included grilled chicken, mixed veggies, ball of water. Sure. That's a very healthy dinner you're talking about. You know what my dinner's going to be? Pizza. That's what my dinner's going to be. I'm about to get off this show and go order myself a pizza. Hey. All right, kids, that's going to do it for us here today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in live to the main event. I appreciate you for watching live and or after the fact, and for downloading the show after the fact on the audio platforms. So this message is to everyone who has supported the show since 2014. Thank you for being there. Thanks for watching live and or watching and listening after the fact. It means a lot to me. A friendly reminder to like, share, and subscribe on the Boink Studios YouTube channel. Again, kids, no paywall, content dating all the way back to 2014. Pro wrestling, sports. You like The Bear? We're reviewing The Bear. You like Ted Lasso? We've reviewed Ted Lasso. Do you like Marvel? We've reviewed a ton of Marvel, and we're still going. You like music reviews, album reviews? We're doing it, and we're going to do it some more. Streamers, sports, Stephen King, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We got it all on Boink Studios on YouTube, man. Please give us a follow, like, share, and subscribe, as we said, and visit us, boinkstudios.com. That's all I got for you here today, kids. Do me a favor, watch that New Japan show. Enjoy it. Go out and have a great weekend. Enjoy the New Japan show and watch some other pro wrestling this weekend. Watch the new Spider-Man film. I saw it last week. It is freaking wonderful. You are going to love it. I promise you, you're going to love it. Go check out the new Spider-Man movie. It was top notch, man. You're going to freaking dig it. We reviewed it on the 6M. Episode drops next week. Hey, we don't waste time here, baby. You know that. You know how we roll, man. So, all right, kids, that's all I got for you. Thanks again, everybody, for following along, for joining us here today. And again, have a great weekend, folks. Have a safe week, and we'll see you, bar any unforeseen circumstances, we'll see you 1 week from today here on Tom Clark's Main Event. Thanks again, as always. And we'll see you next time, kids.
Tom Clark's Main Event. Tom Clark's Main Event. Tom Clark's Main Event.